We are discussing Wonder Woman with their current writer, Meredith Finch. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you for speaking with me.
When I overheard you say to the other gentleman when you took on the book, they said, she's yours, you can do whatever you wanted. Did you know in advance a certain direction you wanted to kind of take her, or did you just want to kind of continue in the current arc they had going?
I wanted to do a little bit of continuation with what Brian and Cliff had done, because I thought they had such a great story and they'd done such a great job of reintroducing the new 52 Wonder Woman. But I also really wanted to give people an idea of who she was in her own head and how she made decisions, and a little more insight into Wonder Woman the woman, or Diana the woman, as opposed to just Wonder Woman the superhero.
Were there any things you kind of wanted to, or if you haven't gotten to them yet, anything you kind of wanted to change or kind of like rewrite or retcon, as you will?
No. I know, I feel like, well, we may not always agree with decisions that are made. In order to retcon, it's almost the easy way out. It's like, I don't like this, so I'm just going to get rid of it and pretend it didn't happen. And I think as a writer, it challenges you much more if you have to work within the boundaries you've been given or the parameters that you've been given and find a way to make a story work. So if something that I maybe wasn't working for my story, then I've had to make it work. I think that only makes me better, and it only makes the story better. They are superheroes, and they all have their own history and established lore, and we have to be responsible to that, and to the people who have come before us and the readers who have liked that.
And obviously Wonder Woman being one of DC's big three, is this something that you kind of petitioned, like, hey, I'd love to do Wonder Woman? Was it something they said, hey, would you like to do it, or was it a complete surprise?
I mean, who wouldn't want to write Wonder Woman? But I wouldn't say it was necessarily on my list of available projects that I would have pitched for. But the opportunity came up to us that I could pitch for it. DC had read the work that I'd done for Zenescope, and so they offered me, knowing that Brian and Cliff were coming to the end of their run, and they're looking for, first of all, to increase diversity within the company and for strong female writers. Secondly, they were looking for somebody to take on the Wonder Woman project. So I think it was just a case of being in the right place at the right time. And then I ultimately had to pitch for the project, and they had to approve the story and the idea and what I wanted to do with the character.
And obviously working with your husband, has that been a double-edged sword where it's kind of like, well, you know, or does it make things so much easier, him doing the art, you doing the story?
At the end of the day, it makes things so much easier, because I think what makes for a really great story is when you have synergy between your writer and your artist. And obviously David and I have that, because we sit down together and we talk about the pages on a daily basis. We talk about the story on a daily basis, and so we're both very invested, and we both know what's happening and what we want to get out of the book. There are other artists that I've worked with that I feel like I have that same synergy with. A great example of that is Miguel Mendonca, who did the Little Mermaid miniseries for me for Zenescope. He's such a great storyteller, and I always know when I give him a script that it's going to look like what I envisioned it to look like, or better than what I envisioned it to look like. So that's always great. Like, I really do feel like having that writer-artist synergy always makes for a better product in the end.
And as a writer, I'm sure with anything else, you know, you do something long enough, you get a little, I'm ready to move on. How long do you see yourself wanting to keep writing Wonder Woman?
I don't know, because I think that writers and artists tend to burn out on characters at different rates, because as an artist, you're drawing that character every day. Like, artists take a lot longer to come up with their end product. So, for example, David, to do a 22-page book, it takes him 22 or more days to do that. It certainly doesn't take me 22 days to write the book. So I haven't really put a time limit on how long I would like to write Wonder Woman. I still have stories that I want to tell, and I'm really looking forward to our next arc. And I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from fans, and they keep saying, don't leave. I'm sure there are people out there who are saying, when is she going to get off? But the feedback I'm getting has been positive, and I think DC's really happy with the book and the direction that it's going. And so I don't personally have an expiration date on the book yet.
I'm a DC person. Wonder Woman's obviously one of the titles, so I've been thrilled with your work, if it makes any difference.
Thank you.
If you had the chance going forward, do you have another character set your sights or on the horizon who you'd really just love to write?
I do love to write Wonder Woman, so I've really focused on her primarily. It's tough. There are so many great characters out there. I would like to try my hand at writing a strong male lead character as well. I don't like to feel that only a woman can write a strong female character and only a man can write a strong male character. So, there's always a possibility of writing a male lead book, but right now I'm just focused on Wonder Woman and what we're doing with her, and I keep joking I have 3 kids, so it's all I can do to focus on balancing them and the book.
Sure, yeah, I'll bet. Well, thank you again very much for speaking with us. Good luck we look forward to reading the rest of the book.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and I really appreciate it.